Hello, Miami. So let me bring you a panel today that's very, very interesting. We are going to just talk about money in the bear market. Whoa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first, thank you to Binance and CoinMarketCap. This session is being live streamed to more than 13,000 viewers globally now. So let us just start by having the panelists briefly introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, I'm Vanessa Ho. I'm based in Singapore. I'm from a project called SoCo, which did the Irene DAO project that some of you guys might have heard about, especially when Logan Paul bought it. We are a community management platform that helps creators and brands get into Web3 through NFTs and gated community.
Hello, my name is Darren. I'm the VP of Candy Club. I first came into crypto in 2019. My first crypto project was GoldZip, which was a gold-backed stablecoin. We raised about $300 million worth of gold. After that, we co-founded 2 GameFi titles, and this year we're launching a product called Candy Club, which is the world's first altcoin crypto casino.
My name is David Brontes. I'm a venture partner at Buddhist VC. I've been in crypto since 2015.
David, closer.
During that time, I've been pretty fortunate to work with a lot of interesting projects as an investor, founder, advisor, and also lived through some of the cycles that have happened before this. So,
hi everybody, I'm Dreamer, president at Kingdom Studios. President at Kingdom Studios. We are the development company for DeFi Kingdoms. Yes.
You got a huge fans club here. So, okay, the first question. Very, very easy questions for everybody. How long do you think this bear market would last? About Vanessa.
Okay, I think I've heard from people from the market and friends from the ecosystem that it might get even worse next year, which makes me very nervous because we're planning to list our tokens sometime early next year. And I think maybe when COVID ends, end of next year maybe, people say, right, when the bull market will come when when COVID ends.
There's no COVID right now. Yeah, COVID ends in Miami.
For me, I think about a year, but after the FTX crash, probably about at least 2 or maybe even 3 years even.
yeah, so I also think, the market's gone down significantly based on significant events, the news, but I think the ripple effects of that are still to be, played out within FTX and also interest rates, things like that. So I guess my best guess is 12 to 18 months is probably when you start seeing some of that.
13 months.
I'd say 12 to 18.
I'm going to refrain from answering a timeline. I think instead I would invite us to accept this as the new reality. I think it's the new it's the new reality we're living in. It's just the market. And what are we going to do? If we continue to talk about when will it come up, we may fall behind others who are focusing, building, and choosing to say, this is the world we're living in. It's different than last year. It may be different than next year. How do we take advantage of it? How do we build and not fear it? Because then you don't care on when it ends. You'll benefit regardless.
That's actually a great answer. That's actually a great answer. Be it whether it's a bear or a bull, we can still make money, right? So, okay. Next questions. This will be a harder one for all the panelists here. Tokens are down as much as 99%. If you have 100,000 invested in, today you are left back with 1,000. So, how do you think that the future for tokens would be in this whole entire market? It's lucky that you guys have not launched your token yet, but let's say where do you all think that this whole thing will go? Continue to go down further and so on? What's your thoughts about it? Anyone can just grab the mic.
I guess I can start first, and because we're gearing up for our token listing plan, is that the tools of launching your tokens and maintaining a token price have changed a lot. Now marketing and PR become white noise, and people are very wary and cautious and look at it as with like extra lenses now. So you can't rely on the same toolkits that other projects have done before in order to launch their tokens successfully. Right now, I think you just have to have high conviction, show your conviction in the long-term success and sustainability of a project, and your community members will buy in, and you really have to count on like proper tech. Back when we started, a lot of our success was given to the whole virality of the Irene DAO project, 7.5 million trading volume, you know, all the celebrities bought Irene DAO, but that's only going to take us for a few months. It's not going to give us a proper token listing. So now the messaging have shifted to more of here's our community management platform, this is our tech, and I think people will buy into it because that's more long term.
So DeFi Kingdom, how do you bring hope back to the market?
How do we bring hope back to the market?
Or how to DeFi Kingdom continue to provide hope to your fans, to the new supporters that's going to come in?
Sure. So I'm going to answer your first question first, and then I'll answer that one. So I think, you know, it's just going to go down further. We just saw a massive event occur with FTX, and the contagion is still unfolding. The narrative of proof of reserves is something that I think we're probably overweighting comfort in, because we're not really focused on proof of liability. None of this is about DeFi kingdoms. However, everything in crypto is correlated right now. Every misstep, every scam, every accusation, every toxic person, every rug pull, if I'll use that word, affects the whole. So we have to grow as a group. So what are we doing? Not knowing what could happen the next day, not knowing what the contagion will be. We're doing what we've been doing the whole time. We have weekly AMAs to be transparent with our community. We get feedback. We build and deliver almost every other week, looking for utility and not focusing on our own price. But price is important to everybody, so strategy's got to change too. Strategy in bull market is going to be very different than strategy in bear market. The tokenomics can't just be flip-flopping back and forth, but they need to react in some way. Inflationary in bull and deflationary in bear. If you're interested in what we've done, we've had to do a major shift due to some other events that we didn't control. But we do have conviction in that plan, and we'll continue to adjust. Regardless of what happens in the world, build, listen, trust the team, and have the community trust you, and hopefully that long-term mindset will pay off in whatever market you're in.
So, Candy Club.
I think what Dreamer said was pretty good. You have to look a bit more beyond the token price. So it's more about the community building. So in these tough times, if you're building, which is good, but eventually when you have no community, you're building towards nothing. So right now, project owners, they need to work more harder. They actually need to do more activities, more collaboration with different brands in order to survive the winter. So once you survive the winter, that is when you can actually consider looking at that token price before making money.
So, David, things are down. So, is Plutus VC providing hope to projects out there?
Yeah, so I would say, you know, we're still investing, right? I mean, I think people are being obviously more selective, which is normal and actually a good thing. I think allocation of capital, especially in crazy markets, it tends to go, you know, rush different places, and really having time to do proper due diligence and allocation of capital will always reward good projects. So I would say if you're out there doing a project, like, you know, if you have a good concept, you know, the capital will be there. And, you know, if you think about it, some of the strongest projects have been born in bear markets. So I think really, like the focus has been, it's all about building and being focused and maybe, you know, utilizing your resources in the most efficient way. You know, things will work out.
Okay, my next question is for Irene DAO and DeFi Kingdom. So basically today's NFTs prices are down. Hopefully it can still maintain, you know, GameFi to many people, the guilds systems are not working anymore to help propel GameFi. So how do you all see this market today, and how do you provide back faith, or what kind of changes do you think projects out there, new GameFi projects, new NFT projects, new celebrities projects needs to do in the current market situation now?
Did I go first? Okay. So I think the word utility is used a lot, especially when talking about GameFi and specifically DeFi kingdoms. We do have NFTs in our game, and we don't set the price. So we actually are about to drop a new line of NFTs for our hero line that has new classes. People are very excited. These are very rare and have been highly coveted in the past. However, we're not fixing a price and just selling it. That's a trend that I don't know how long that can really last, especially with the regulatory environment. We reward it to our players. The players play the game to obtain these NFTs out of their understanding of the future utility and current utility and roadmap. So being transparent of what the plan is, feedback to adjust it, delivering the progress, and then finding unique ways for people to participate in the growth and building of that project builds a natural level of trust and excitement. Avoiding hype, pre-sales, fixed price drops with promised value with no fixed date and no progression is not only worrisome, but in a bear market, it is very risky and likely would cause a lot of people to flee.
Okay, I'm going to add one more question for the both of you. Where is the money today in GameFi, NFT? This is a hard question. Every time I run Plutus VC together with David. I'm the general partner of Plutus VC. So every time when a project comes to me for money, I will always ask them, especially during this bear market, where is the money? So this question is, where is the money for the investors? Where is the money for the retail investors?
You're looking at me. I don't know if I'm going to answer this one, but I feel like this gentleman on the side might be a better answer there. So I'm going to start it, but your comment you just made, everything's down about 98, 99%, that tells us where the money is not, right? The money is in safe haven assets. A lot of people are waiting on the sideline, trying to look for the next winner, trying to look for those that can be trusted. Is that the person that does a flashy, overhyped drop? Or is that the team with heads down, developing, planning, listening, looking around corners, reacting in professional ways, and trying to deliver a quality long-term project? I think so. Does the money come right away? I don't think so. If we look at all the VCs that have looked at projects in the last year in the bull market, I don't know how happy or sad they might be with their investments. But I will say from our perspective, we have focused heavily on building a foundation of structure with not only our legal structure, but with our team, our community, and the value that we have. So we have a proven track record for when we introduce capital, we have the project and the product speak for itself. So I think the money's on the sideline waiting and watching, and those that will stick out will be the ones that survive through the list of things that I just shared, and you will then see money follow that fundamental value.
How about Arindal?
I want to add on to that because the foundation and the structure is important. But for us, like, it's not enough for us to maintain that because of your high burn rates, to maintain your dev teams. So if you just rely on our conventional revenue model, which is just taking 2.5% of transaction fees, same as OpenSea on our platform, I think we're dead. So we have to take on more reactive approach right now to find new revenue streams to come into our business to maintain our team. And that includes, some service fees and capitalizing on things that people know us very well on, which is our kind of like our ancillary service, our social media marketing, and our network of KOLs that people recognize us for. So that used to be kind of a free value add service that we do for people and projects on our platform. And now we have to start monetizing all these. So we have to kind of react, but be a bit more creative with what sort of revenue streams can contribute to our pipeline as well.
Great answer, revenue stream. So maybe Candy Club, you can explain a little bit how you can help projects with additional revenue streams?
We can't help with NFTs directly, but we can help with NFT project owners. So what we do is we work with people of large communities. So if you have a community of 10,000 or even 100,000, it doesn't really matter. What we do is that we have an affiliate program. So how it works is that we give all project owners a 1% turnover. Not to be confused with 1% deposit, but 1% rolling turnover. So what this essentially means is that when your community comes to our casino, they bet games on blackjack, roulette, whatever they bet, win or lose of that 1% goes back to you as a project owner. So there here is a guaranteed source of new income for project owners.
1%, isn't that very little?
No, it's not 1% deposit, it's 1% of whatever they bet. So basically, what they bet of $100, they can multiply that by 10, by 15, and you get 1% of that.
So David, you're the investor in Candy Club, the main investor in Candy Club. Why do you invest in a crypto casino project?
Yeah, so I guess going back to, I guess the time they were in the bear market, right? I think you look at projects and really the main focus for projects is, you know, focusing on fundamentals, right? Like do more with less, right? So if you think about how you're running, it comes down to business principles. So, you know, be focused on your deliverables, run your company efficiently, manage the resources that you do have to be able to survive, right? And really the reason why Candy Club had an impact was it essentially allows those projects a tool to be able to come and have something that doesn't have any cost to them, but they can automatically have an impact. And what that impact is not only for the utility of the token, but also engaging their community, right? Which is a big thing to do in the bear market. You have to have a reason to engage, a reason to keep your community vibrant. And this is a project that we found that was amazing because it allows people to instantly, because the platform is ready to go, instantly inactivate that in those projects, engage with the community, create airdrops, have tournaments, whether it's for fun or wagering. It just created an amazing opportunity to do that and also have a new revenue stream. So that was the main reason.
Yeah, and I think it's something that many other projects should consider. The concept of it's not just project ABC and what they can do relative to project XYZ. It's how can project ABC and XYZ collaborate to make each other better. And if you're somebody with money, and let's just assume that money still is on the sideline looking around, if they see 100 different options and they have to pick one, and then they run into 7 that are all teamed up, that are helping each other make money, that are making a more stable environment, interoperability between these different protocols, between the different games, am I going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, or is my one choice protected by 7? There's less idiosyncratic risk. There's more, I guess, profit sharing, but also a reduction of risk. I think more of us have to be reaching out to others and say, let's bake into our business model a way for not only, you know, Candy Club, DeFi Kingdoms, or others to make money individually, but how can we help the whole, the industry, those that we work with, the community, let's create influencers from our community, let's create all-stars, let's create business models and a way to show those sitting on the sideline that they're not just investing in one token, they're investing in an ecosystem, a mindset.
Yeah, and to that point, I think when you're talking about interpolarity, I mean, really what Candy Club does very interestingly is interconnect tokens, unlocking value that way. And some of the other really interesting projects that I've seen as well on the GameFi space is they're doing the same thing for like NFTs, right? So it's like if people have NFTs sitting in their wallets that have zero functionality, now they're finding ways to integrate them into games. And it comes down to unlocking value. So what do we do now when it's low? It's like actually utilize everything you've already invested in and get the most value for that. So if you can unlock people's value that are in their wallets, having zero use case and now can work across different games, these kind of things are super interesting, and even more so now.
So I'm gonna be a little bit biased. So is Irene Dow or DeFi Kingdom a partner of Candy Club already?
Not yet, but we'll reopen the conversations. We actually got started talking about it, so I guess we have to follow up after.
Progressing conversations in a good direction.
That's good because what you just said just now allows everybody to understand that he truly understands the true value of Web3. So just let me briefly a few seconds. Web 1, Web 2, I've been a VC for 20 years. I've seen the whole entire space from Web 1 to Web 3. So Web 1, Web 2 is what I call a walled garden. My community is mine. I will never share it with you, right? That's Web 1 and Web 2. Whereas in Web 3, it's just exactly what you just said. A lot of Web 2 companies jumping onto Web 3 still does not understand the true value of Web 3, and that is community sharing. That is one of the most important points. That's why we have joint AMAs. One community with another community on a joint AMAs means they consolidate the communities together and become stronger. That's is what crypto industry today needs. Exactly. So, yes, it has to happen. It has to happen in a much bigger scale for this whole industry to pass this bear market and to make it bigger for everyone. So I'm going to go into, I understand that you believe that this is the bear market, we have to accept the bear market and so on. Let's talk about money, because everybody, I believe, why do you all come into crypto? You are not for the love of technology, you are not because of the love of the JPEG. Everybody comes into crypto for a few. I think majority, more than 2/3, come into crypto for wealth creation, profits, money, basically. So, any tips for people that currently in this particular market, from any of the four of you, that can allow the retail investors, which is the most important. If you ask me, the VCs are not your most important people. The most important people to any crypto and Web3 project are the retail investors, your supporters. So what tips can you provide to them? We are being live streamed to 13,000, 14,000 people today. What tips can you provide to all these people?
So I think in Web3, many people have seen very wealthy people come about from it, and it can be distracting. And it can almost be distracting to the point where people don't do their research or fully understand before committing their assets. In the traditional world, if somebody's going to be a trader, they make a paper account and they practice for sometimes years and get education before they put their money at risk. But unfortunately, if somebody's learning and I can make a bunch of money in crypto, let me go ape in on what somebody said on something, and maybe I don't even understand, but the way I interpret what they're saying is I should do this, and now I've lost everything. That I think is something that viewers should look at this and say, it's about managing your own finances. It's not about a quick rich scheme. It's about controlling your finances, seeing where your money is. I think somebody has been saying, your keys, your cheese. You own your keys, you know where it sits, you know how it's being used. That's very different than the traditional landscape of custodial banking services where you give up your money. People may or may not mismanage it. It may or may not result in events that we've seen very recently. So people coming in, they need simplicity, they need education and for themselves and from the projects. And I think if they come in educated and realize that the value is not just to get rich, the value is to manage your own finances, to have digital ownership, and to innovate the space, then I think people can come in a more right.
Give her a round of applause. So David,
I think
there's a saying in the market for crypto: bet what you are willing to lose. Do you agree with that as an investor? There's a saying in the crypto industry: only invest and bet what you're willing to lose. So as a VC, do you agree to this?
I think that's definitely a big factor. Is obviously you have to see it as the risk mitigation, right? Because it is a risky industry. However, I think as going back to the main point, which was, what can people do now? I think this is a good time to, the famous slogan, like, what's in your wallet, right? It's like you actually can, for once, kind of stop and think, like, as a retail investor, for example, look at your wallets. What did you invest in? What do you hold? And then kind of ask yourself, like, why do I hold that, right? Was it because I saw something trending and I bought this thing and it went up and now down? Because if you go back in the cycles, like, sadly, 80% of projects might not make it through, right? So even though the market is down, it's still a good time to really reassess and maybe cut losses of projects you actually don't believe in and you maybe got into them for the wrong reasons, and actually double down on ones, to your point of doing your own research, and believe in it, or believe in the team, or actually understand what the project is doing, and double down on those projects, because the ones that are going to come back are going to come back stronger, and a lot of them won't. So it's kind of almost like reassess and reshuffle your chips and place your bets where you actually believe in.
Okay, for you, since you're the only lady on the panel, I'll give you the hardest questions, okay? I take myself as a retail investor. Why should I buy your NFT?
I actually want to disagree on a couple of things that you mentioned, that profitability or like money is the biggest reason that they come in with. For us, we actually, on our platform, we actually call our NFTs collectibles because we want people to buy in or spend the money as consumption, less so speculation and investment. But that's us, right? There are other platforms or like your exchanges, of course, it's targeting people for the investment appetite. But for us, we are trying to appeal to the consumption appetite where you are like kind of spending to like sim for your favorite creator like Irene or a celebrity or a creator, and you are willing to just spend just to enjoy some sort of benefits of them, get to know the creator. And for me, like I'm also launching my community on Soko, and we're providing like guest lists for my DJ gigs. We work with Amber Lounge where your NFTs bring you to global access. And you get house pour drinks, and you feel like that's worth it. It's consumption, and even in the bear market, if the NFT value drops, you feel like okay, it's worthwhile. You got whatever you
yeah, so this
paid
is
for.
this is the $1 million questions that for projects always tells me I want my investors to hold my token forever. Do you all want to hold a token forever? You see, only Bitcoin. See. So, okay, who is in this market scream, okay, for profits? Nobody? Say. So, yes.
So maybe I'll take that cue and I'll add to my answer. So those that are watching or listening, what are other reasons to get into crypto outside of just the financial perspective? Well, DeFi Kingdoms is taking a couple different approaches. If you're a gamer or when you're younger, you like to play games, and you played it for hundreds of hours, and at the end you turned it off and had no value to show for it, well, now there's digital ownership that carries value with liquid market. You can play something, make a hero stronger, and sell it when you no longer want it or want something else. You can use those heroes to actually earn other tokens like Catch a Fish that actually can be used for utility across games in the metaverse. So if you liked gaming, check out blockchain gaming. There's so much potential. If you're interested in DeFi and you can't understand it, a lot of the projects are making it easy to understand through simplifying it through gamification. So anybody that's listening, there's a lot of opportunity out there to learn, to play, to manage finances, and to your point that you're trying to hit home, to have potential to have different types of profits outside of the traditional ecosystem and markets.
So, Candy Club, why should people bet on your crypto casino?
I think like for most NFTs, most tokens out there, for tokens that are hitting 0.00001, instead of hoping for the 100x, it's not really going to happen. It's not going to happen for this year or the year after. So instead of holding to these tokens, you can actually have some real entertainment utility on our casino, that's for one. And you can actually have a chance of multiplying it into like a 2x on a blackjack or a 10x on a roulette. So this is one real use case that here we're offering for all token projects.
So what you're trying to say is that I own some shit coins on my right hand. It has dropped 90%. I should gamble it off at Candy Club, double up on nothing, triple up, and then probably I get back the original value.
And you enjoy the process of it.
Yeah, I'll probably enjoy the process of it.
But wouldn't...
Okay, we have only the last 30 seconds. I'm going to give it the floor to the four of you all to promote. You have 10 seconds to promote your project to 15,000 audience viewing you live. Let's start with DeFi Kingdom.
Okay, so check out DeFi Kingdoms, game.defikingdoms.com. We are cross-chain. We're doing 1 to 2 million transactions a day on our subnet. We are launching on Clayton. We have new heroes coming out. Combat's around the corner. We are shipping things every other week and open to community feedback and welcoming people in. So come check us out.
Great. Candy Club.
Candy Club, we are a crypto casino. We have over 200 slot games, over 100 blockchain games, and we have live casinos. We basically, oh yeah, Kelvin, you was going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay, basically, we can give immediate use case to all projects in the community space. Basically, giving your assurance to your marketing team, your community.
And I was told that Candy Club yesterday's revenue passed 18 million US just for World Cup bets using shitcoins.
Thank you, thank you.
Arindal.
Okay, whether you're an artist, influencer, Web3 alpha, doesn't matter what you do, you can be a creator on soco.xyz and connect with your community, or as a fan or a community member, come on our platform and support your favorite creators by owning your first NFT.
Okay, thank you Binance, thank you CoinMarketCap, and 15,000 people and everybody here. Good luck and make money!